Ooh, oh, Namsta's Nuggets. True story, folks.
Welcome to episode 3, beautiful people. I hope all is good with you. In a world where we can all be experts courtesy of Google search engine, I'm here to reflect on the tools that help me navigate what often felt like being trapped in the East London, Essex if you must be postcode technical, version of Nightmare on Elm Street. And no, I'm not being extra. Given the coins for chaos era we're currently living in, the dosh I'd make if I used this approach would put me in the same tax bracket as Amazon founder Jeff Bezos. Get it how you live it and all that jazz, but with peace being my ultimate fangalang, what I'm about to share might help some and enlighten others. With so much to cover in so little time, let's get into it. Yeah! For those of you who tuned into the last episode, Friends or Foe, you would have heard me refer to my younger self as a Jolly Wally. People like me, the ones with the behavioural traits of the typical empath, we proper feel our feels and everyone else is around us too. Why the Jolly Wally persona though, I hear you ask? As always, I can only speak for myself, but as a highly sensitive person with an even bigger, well-intentioned heart means you might find it hard to say no to the people you care about, even if you have the bandwidth of a Zoom call on a 1% battery for fear of disappointing them. However, in doing that, the Jolly Wally persona is liable to take over, and so does the resentment-fueled passive aggressiveness behind that plastic fantastic smile you give when, despite exhaustion, you reluctantly agree to whatever is being asked. Stepping back into a time when the Jerry curl was reigning heavyweight hairstyle and Dallas had everyone sewing shoulder pads into their blazers and sweaters alike, I was unknowingly shaping my place in the world. As outlined in my About Namsta ebook, I could read a room better than my ABCs, so it's hardly shocking that grown-up me turned into a hyper-attuned, peacekeeping, emotional shock absorber nobody officially hired.
The life of an empath, past trauma, present issues, future healing. Here's an empath, a highly sensitive person, very compassionate, very loving, and they tend to grow up in emotionally unpredictable homes whereby it's volatile, they learn to walk on eggshells, and love and approval was conditional. They have to be good to get that. There's emotional neglect and abandonment, and they become the parentified son or daughter. They take care of their parents. There will be bullying, abuse and mistreatment going on at home and at school, and it's very easy for them to absorb other people's trauma.
As Kelly Armatage, counsellor and CBT practitioner explains, it's no surprise I ended up carrying emotional loads like they were my own. I can't lie, my misguided gift of being a natural counsellor, unpaid therapist and emotional labourer was something I initially felt excited by. Aside from it being my way of helping others, it made me feel useful, needed and even special. But as certain issues escalated in the background and quietly piled up, that same superpower left me feeling absolutely exhausted. And truth be told, listening to other people's problems was like a great distraction from dealing with my own. Keeping it realer than real, I had unconsciously taught people I was the strong one, the one who holds it all together and doesn't need anything back, serving emotional labour like it was a Costco sample tray. Ah, the lethal cussing Caribbean auntie. If you know, you know. And if you're extra lucky, you've been lovingly threatened with that classic if you don't stop your noise energy, usually followed by a cinematic kiss teeth for emphasis. Jokes aside, there are deeper levels to this. Check this out.
When children grow up in an environment where licks and shame are used as discipline, they learn to fear, not to understand. When they're constantly told to toughen up, they learn to suppress their emotions, not to process them. When they're criticized more than they're shown love unless they achieve something that's worth bragging about, they learn that external validation is what matters most. Between ages 0 to 7, when their brains are developing at rapid speed, it learns how to adapt for survival. And the empathy circuits in their brain struggles to develop, especially if they've rarely seen what true empathy looks like.
Further to what the Mini Insights shares as a Caribbean relationship and money mindset coach, a lot of us grew up in homes that prioritise fear, toughness and achievement over emotional safety, so our brains adapted for survival, not connection. And that's why in adulthood it can show up as low empathy, emotional avoidance or even narcissistic traits, not because people are bad, but because they were never taught another way. Coming from a culture shaped by 350 years of trauma and resilience, expressing feelings has always been treated like dangerous territory. And for empaths, that silence doesn't just stay in the mind, it hits the body. I learnt that the hard way. A few years ago, I went to the hospital for what I thought was a simple check on a burst blood vessel behind my eye and ended up admitted under a medical emergency hold with a hypertensive crisis and fluid on the brain I didn't even know I had. I'd normalised stress so deeply that even the headaches didn't register as warnings. After almost a week of hospital observation and a new mix of blood pressure medication, I left with one realisation. An unawakened empath doesn't just feel too much, she holds too much until her body's forced to pause. And lifestyle changes are mine to manage, of course, but this experience, it completely shifted how I listen to my body. Growing up in Caribbean culture, a lot of us learn to manage everyone else's emotions before our own, and often love and affection came with performance-based conditions. After all, empathy is caring, but absorbing everything, that's survival mode, and it took me decades to see the difference. In an environment known for unspoken but expected emotional labour, I learned that I don't have to rush in and fix everything. Their silence can be theirs. Their disappointment isn't my emergency. Most of the time, we're not managing their feelings, we're managing our fear of their reaction. And as the saying goes, you can't be everyone's cup of tea or you'd be a mug. So my biggest teachable moment? Learning to observe but not absorb, while shaking my tush in liberation at Notting Hill Carnival. Okay, so my carnival days are over, but that's exactly what I would do if I still went. Maybe I just need to take a leaf out of my own Rooters in Bloom Crafty Pops campaign and dance with the butterflies in nature instead. So many choices. Thanks again for your time, peeps. Until we meet again. Bye.